captured on video. To work that up. Racism isn't something, it's not something that's.
I'd like to leave this thought. Reading's good.
What's your code?
That
Phone code?
6761. I got a change. How about Joe with his? I got it. I always change my feelings. All right, I should be getting my food out, right? Jimmy must have taken a vacation. Where's he? The hospital? Any good news? No, 10 days. All right. But June 1st. You want water? Ice water?
Yes.
Recipe number 1. Olive oil, parm cheese, got it. Mustard, got it. Garlic, got it. Juice, lemon, lime, got them. Worcestershire, oh, well, I was going to ask you. I can set a egg timer for 45 minutes. I'll have it somewhere. It'll be ticking, but it'll be whatever. At least it'll say, you know, at some point, if you could look back at, if I start at 7, right, it'll be 7:45 is when I want to end. So we don't need a timer. 7:45 when I, so if you can look at me and go 10 minutes, you know, that's fine. As long as I got some type of frame.
I mean, I'll do something, you know, this is the actual thing, wrap it up, you know,
Right.
that's the actual hand sign.
Well, again, if I'm way too early
Yeah.
and I'm going to it, I gotta remember, slow down.
Yeah. Take your
Take it
time,
easy.
put up, you have till 8:15.
Yeah.
You know, you can make this segment an hour, but remember, we're gonna do questions after.
Yeah, and
And I'll
all
read out
this
the
prep
questions.
is done. I'm literally gonna chop and slice just a few things to show. But all the tuna's drained, all that shit. So, right, I just gotta write that up. Sheet for you to be here tonight. So great. Some of you have come back. Some of you are brand new. We have some people, let's see, out of Toronto. We have New Hampshire tonight. And I believe I have a Yuma, Arizona. But other than that, everyone else is from Green Hill Condominiums, where we're taping live out of my test kitchen tonight. And we're going to go over, this class is going to be fantastic with 4 seasonal salads for summer. And I said they sizzle because the temperature is sizzling out there. So I wanted to bring you extremely cool, crisp, really great salads. So what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to show you the first 4 recipes. You should have all gotten these on the link. You could have printed them out and you're right in front of you. But I'm going to show you right now. We're going to have the very first one is the Riviera tuna. I was asked about 30 years ago to make up a salad, a tuna salad with no mayo. So I said, sure, let me think of that one. This is before caloric was even in sight. So I came up with this mayo-less salad, really terrific. Next is going to be the elote Mexican street food. Now, elote corn is actually a cob of corn with a wooden stick up its backside, and they cook it off, and then they make a sharp mayo, very spicy like a Mexican mayo, and rub it all over the corn. Well, I decided to make it into a bowl and make it into a salad you could put on the side. Any one of these entrees can be a side or a salad. Next, we're going to have the sweet and sour super salad. What the heck is that? My grandmother used to make a cucumber and onion salad. It was great. It had the sour cream and what have you. I just ramped it up a little bit. I think this is super refreshing, really nice. It lasts for about 2 days. It's always better the second day, a lot of these salads, when it all gets marinated and great. And the last one we're going to do is a pasta salad. Now you say, what is radiator? Well, radiator is a little short nugget. It almost looks like a baby root beer barrel. But this is a pasta salad. You can use any pasta salad, pasta in the salad. It's going to be short, fat, stalky, a little bit, ones that look like a little hat, something to catch the dressing and everything on. So it's going to be great to be using these four. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to start and get ready to go. I hope you're excited for this class, because I truly am. Riviera tuna salad. Okay, we're ready to go. I think my guy is ready. He's here, my IT guy. I wouldn't do any of this without him. Jacob is my pal. He lives right here in the community with me. So everything should be good. You should be able to hear me well. Oh, hear me well. The mic is up in here. And I have a couple different cameras, so we're going to be able to see everything. Get a small bowl like this. We're going to start off with the Riviera tuna salad with the dressing first. So what we want to do is do the olive oil first. So I'm going to put, it says about a half a cup. So I'm going to pour about a half a cup in here. Next, we're going to do a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. So there's no mayo, so you have to make a very clingy, really nice dressing that's going to hang on to all these ingredients. So we do next right in quarter cup of Parmesan cheese. Then we're going to go right through with about 2 teaspoons of mustard. Look, this isn't baking. Do you need to measure everything out with a teaspoon? No, you put in 1, you put in 2. That's where we go. Bingo. You all know what this looks like. A couple of teaspoons. Okay. So what we're going to do next, a little bit of Worcestershire. It says about 2 teaspoons. I'm going to put in 1, 2 shakes. That's fine. That's about 2 teaspoons. This one here, it didn't have any garlic in here, but I'm going to switch it up a touch. Make sure you have your pens, because we're going to throw in 1 teaspoon of garlic. Why not? It's going to really jazz the dressing up. That's fine. So we're going to have the garlic in there. Everything else we're looking at, we need lemon juice. So in this container, I have the juice of 2 lemons and let's see, one lime. Yeah. So 2 lemons and 1 lime, 2 tablespoons and 4 tablespoons. That's about the equivalent. So I've already squeezed them out through, but I want to show you, I actually put zest in here. Anytime a recipe says, hey, you need lemon juice or lime juice, put some of the zest with it. Even if it doesn't say it in there, it's fine. It's going to make it even better. So we have those in there. Worcestershire, everything's in this here. Now all I'm going to do is give this a whisk. I think you can see everything fine. Now this will make a nice tight. Now if it's a little loose and you see it's just not quite thick enough, you could add a little bit more Parmesan and do it that way. Or you can leave it as is, that's fine. This recipe will hold as it is. I always like to put a touch more parm in just to make it stick a little bit more, but it's fine. It will absorb into all the other ingredients. So all our dressing ingredients are in here. Now we're going to put that aside. I'm going to switch over to another bowl. And we're going to add in here now just the things that are left. Tuna, fresh tuna. You're not going out and getting fresh tuna and cooking it. You could very easily. So what I'm going to do is show you some of these things. This is tuna in a can, but it's the albacore. It's the good stuff. Pay the price and get the good stuff. Sometimes it's on sale. Buy it ahead, put it in your pantry. Even though you're not making it this week, make it next month, you still have it in there. It's on sale. So I have a good about 2 cups of tuna in here. Remember, that is your main ingredient. So whatever the recipe says, if it's a tuna salad, you want that as the most or the bulk. Next thing I did, I blanched off, up top here, I blanched off baby broccoli florets. I mean, you see how tiny they are. Takes a minute just to cut them this small. Boiling water, salted, put them in for about 1 minute. You still want a little bit almost of crunch to them. You don't want them to be soggy. Take them right off, strain them, put them back in the pot and add cold water and some ice. Now they shocked or they stopped cooking. Now they're at a perfect point. I'm dumping those in. Beautiful. Are you all with me? I think you can. I'm used to a live audience here, so I'm trying to say, make sure you get it all. Shredded carrots, okay? Shredded carrots come in a bag. They're easy, fine, get them. But what should you do with shredded carrots? You should always put them in water about an hour before you're going to use them. They always have a little white on them. And I'm going to tell you, as soon as you do that, you want to rinse them off. And they come back to gorgeous, bright carrots like you just shredded them yourself. Again, shredded carrots need to be reconstituted. That's what all that white is in there. What else do we have left? I think that's about it. Blanched broccoli, shredded carrots, tuna, and all set. Biggest thing we need to do is make sure we salt and pepper as we go. So even though the dressing doesn't have any in it either, you want to make sure you get some fresh ground black pepper. It hits everything before you toss it. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit over here. So now it ensures that everything gets it. Now we're going to get fresh salt. A couple of packs. I got some nice Peruvian salt. Remember, the Parmesan is a little bit salty, but it can still take it. The broccoli needs help. All of it needs a lot of help as far as salt and pepper. Don't flake it like crazy. Don't mix it up like you're going to beat the band. Just a couple of tosses, that's fine. And then we're going to bring right back with the dressing and pour the dressing all over it. This entire amount is fine. As they always said, don't bang the bowl when you're on TV. Don't. Never. They used to yell at us off the stage all the time. So you never do that. I see a lot of chefs on TV, on stage, are banging away. Even Jacques, the master, the king himself, he's banging and slamming and everything's fine. So, and he's fully mic'd, so you got to remember that. This is it. This is our Riviera tuna. I'm telling you, the next day, this is amazing. Even let this, all these 4 salads, you want to make sure that these are all going to sit about an hour before you serve them. Absolutely terrific. Really great. These salads are the best. So we're going to go and we're going to be back in about a minute or so. So just hang tight. I'm going to come right back through. Next one we're going to do is the elote Mexican corn street food. Be right back. I think I'm almost ready to go here. Everybody still with me? Did you get your little glass of wine or whatever you're doing out there on Zoom land? Okay, elote Mexican corn, street food. Now, I'm looking straight at you. I'm going to tell you, this salad is not spicy. It's not hot. It sounds like it Mexican, street food. Corn. It just has a lot of wonderful spices and it's really terrific, but you really do need to ramp it up. First thing I did was make my corn. I have an amazing farm, my pals up North Jersey called Donaldson's Farm. I went up there a week ago and I got about 50 ears of corn. They sell them that way in a big burlap bag. And they're very dear friends of mine. So what I did is I brought them back. All you do is take 2 ears of corn and you put it in the microwave in a bowl. They can be sticking out of it. A little bit of water in the bottom and then saran the top and then put it in the microwave 4 minutes. That's it. Bring them out, dump the water off, let them cool enough to hold and touch and feel. And that's it. I've come up with the shredded already, but I'm going to show you the bottom. You cut off or you snap off the bottom stem. Okay. So all you're going to do is come straight down. It's nice flat base. And you're just going to come straight down, cut into the corn a little bit more than you would. You'd be surprised how deep the corn kernels go all the way down. So that's it. When you make it with fresh corn, you have these nice big, can you see up here, these large chunks of corn? Leave them like that until you mix them up. They'll break up in the bowl, but you want to even try and make them that big, that large of a piece. Can you use canned corn? Of course you can. Can you use frozen corn? Sure. When you do the frozen corn, you want to make sure any frozen vegetable, always make sure to thaw it out in the fridge the night before. When you cut it open, you need to strain off all the liquid. Every time, green beans, corn, lima beans, any frozen. They're a terrific product. They're taken straight from when they're ripe out of the fields. They're frozen, flash frozen. That's how they do it. A Green Giant, different places like that. Everybody uses them incorrectly. You pour all the water in and it sits there and it stews and it's a mess. So make sure. I have with the corn about 2 to 3 cups of corn, fresh, canned, whatever you'd like. That's fine. Next, we're going to go with cherry tomatoes. Little thing about cherry tomatoes. Now, you're seeing different parts of the year. I got little grape tomatoes. I'm coming up to my camera here. You can see this is a big one. This is like a behemoth cherry tomato. So how do you cut it? If I can show you here on the cutting board, instead of cutting it in half like everybody does, if it's this big, I always cut it in a third, put it down, and then cut it in a third. Now you have very true, real size, all the same type size. That's the key to a lot of salads that are cold. Try and make everything very similar in size. It mixes well, it looks great, so it's much better. All right, so we're gonna dump those in. Oh, I got one more whole one there. That's fine, I'm putting them in for good luck. Let's see, cucumbers. Next, we're gonna do some cukes. I always use, and I'm gonna come up and show you, the gourmet seedless cukes. Few seeds in there, they're minor, they're baby, they're grown this way for a specific reason. So what I'm gonna do, taking off the back stub just a little, and what I like to do is always cut them down. You wanna, again, try and keep it the same sizes. You can see the baby little seeds, so much more palatable than regular. I'm gonna bring it straight down, and I'm gonna bring it right over. Now I can cut them into very similar sized chunks as my tomatoes were, okay? This is where you want to go. They're good size. They're not tiny and going to get lost, but you still want to be able to see them really well. So that's fine. What do we got here? Okay, so that's good. We have our next on the green onions. Now, green onions, when you get them home from the grocery store, always use them. Put them in a glass of water, put them in the fridge. Period. Don't ever let them just sit out and hang out. They're going to stay nice and crisp. Same thing with celery, the same way you do celery. Pick off some of your ends that are a little wilted or a little touch older. Because remember, each one of these are picked at different times of growing. They're pretty much the same, but they will look different. Wedge up your front, bring it all into play, and then just give it a quick chop, get rid of all the roots. Okay. Fine. Now, we're going to bring them down. Do you use the green parts or don't you? Oh, I hear that murmur out there. Everybody's questioning. They're up in the air. They're looking. Yes, you use all parts. Some dishes are different parts. But you want to keep these, again, in good sizes also. You don't want to make everything fine mince for this. This salad's a big looker. It's a big show salad. You bring it to the table, they're like, oh, goodness, look at the side, the gigantic. It's going to be great. I can eat whatever. So I'm going to say, and you can look, because scallions come in many different bunches. Big scallions, small scallions. That's fine. I'm putting that much in. That's great. That's all you need. Now you're starting to see all kinds of color in here. Green, red, yellow, really great. Last thing I have is a red onion. Red onions are a little bit sweeter. Always remember with produce, when you get color, they're sweeter a little bit and they've been longer on the vine. Chlorophyll is when they're brand new and starting, the green. Everything is like that. When they start to ripen up, peppers, onions, and that's just the facts of what they do. I mean, it's just nature. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut these in the same thing. Now, this was cut. Let me show you before I continue. We have a root end. I'm going to show you right off there. And we have a stem end, the point end. And I just cut both ends off first, peel it, and then cut it in half. Okay. I have just cut down into the different chunks. And now all I'm going to do is bring the knife back once, fingers out of the way, nail straight into it. Now bring it right through, almost 3/4 of the way through. That's it. Now I want nice big chunks again. So I'm going to bring them right back through. Each one, if you can see, just on their own, they're going to go into their own sizes. Very easy. I see people cutting big pieces on the cutting board, and then they come back through and chop, 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 chop. No, there's a way to do it, very easy. Okay, I'm going to come back through and just get this a little bit, bring it right around. You all do this at the house, correct? By looking at you, you're all at the cutting board now, aren't you? I think that's where we're looking at. That's set. Anything else I'm doing in here with the elote corn? Parsley, and that's it as far as the veggies. These came right off of my herbs, right off the deck. Yes, I have a herb basket right out there. They're growing amazing. You have to flick these things off constantly for them to grow more. If you don't use them, they go big, long, straggly, and they get pretty awful. The more you use your basil, your parsley, all these things, sage. I have dill out there. I'm almost done with my dill because I've used it. And once dill starts to get picked and done, that's pretty much done. It grows very woody in the center and finishes. But I've used it for about 2 months now. So we're going to take off, as you can see, all just the leaves. Look at how gorgeous these are. These are literally just cut off about 10 minutes before the show. All right. Finish stems away. Save those stems. If you're going to do a stock, save all your stems. Throw them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. Perfect thing for the stems. Such flavor. Almost all the fresh herbs. So much flavor is in the stems and people don't use it. There's plenty of flavor in the leaf itself. Now this I'm going to leave again a little bit more coarse chop, not so chopped fine parsley. I want to be able to see nice big flecks in there, okay? What do you say, Jacob? You think everybody's still with us? Are they going to get that second glass of wine? I'm not sure. I'm holding off to my end now. I really should have a little something going on, but I'll hold off. I think Jacob and I are going to pop open a nice bottle of champagne tonight because this was a terrific class. What else we have? Parsley. Cojita cheese. The heck is cojita cheese? You can find it quite easily at your store, but if you don't, shredded Parmesan. I have it as a note at the bottom. Shredded Parm or powdered Parm is fine. So you just pop that in, okay? So that's ready. Now, I've made this one ahead, the first thing. I've made the main ingredients ahead, so I'm going to make the dressing with this second. But again, I just want to toss everything lightly, just a touch, and with salt and pepper. Because again, these are fresh veggies, super crisp, super nice, but they need help. They have their flavor, but they need S&P all the time. And you'd be surprised how much these will soak in, soak up, and be done. See those big chunks of corn? That's what you don't get when you use a can or you use, and it's so easy to use the whole cut corn. All right, so that's set. Let's start back on to the dressing then. So in this little container, I have a 1/2 cup of mayo, a 1/2 cup of sour cream, and about a tablespoon, well, let's see. Oh, and I put the lemon or lime juice. I put lime juice in this, 1/4 cup. That's what you see here. Only thing I'm going to add to this is some chili powder. Chili powder, about a tablespoon, so that's a good amount. You want to, again, this, when you do this on the corn cob, that really soaks the outside of it. So when you bite in, every bite, and I'll show you what I do with the cojita cheese. Next thing is one of the ultimate spices I have in my, and I always have it. Smoked paprika. I can smell this right now just by tipping this container a little bit. Fantastic. Very powerful. You can't use too much of this. You just have to be careful because it will really smoke out the entire dish. And you don't want to do that. You want to have it in there. So this says 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to do 1, 2, almost 2 there. That's fine. So now we're set with this guy. I think that's it of it. Lime, lemon juice, everything else is in the rest. The mayo's here. So I'm going to just give this a nice stir up real quick. Now you got this lemony lime citrusy mayo that is the bomb. Let me tell you, this is so good. Quick little stir because it'll stir up rest in the rest of the salad. I'm going to bring this over. Well, I tell you, I wish the sun was out. We could see a nice sunset. I'm on the west side of the building here, and I have quite spectacular sunsets, let me tell you. Okay, great. That's fine. Here's my dressing. Give a taste. Everything's in there. I can taste the, wow, chili powder. It mixes right in with the smoked paprika. Oh, it's terrific. The zest of the lemon picks it up, freshens it up. Terrific. Let's give it a stir. Remember, you have the Parmesan cheese in here, the scallions, the tomatoes, the fresh corn. Let this sit an hour and you can use it as a side dish. This will last for days. All this is large chunks. It holds well. When you make them very large chunks, they really don't disintegrate that much. The acid doesn't break it down. So again, oh, there's that loud sound. This is the Elote Mexican corn street food. I'm telling you, this is a winner. Super, super good. Everybody loves this. I haven't found too many people, unlike a couple out of all times I've served it, they really like this a lot. We're going to be back in just a minute. And from there, we're going to go right on through and we're going to start on recipe number 3. So give me about 2 minutes for the sweet and sour super salad. Okay, we're getting close to coming back here right now. Now, I understand that we had a problem with our main camera, but we're working on that. We had an actual overheat, which is very unusual. The actual iPhone, the camera overheated. So we're working on that, but you can still hear me. You can still see my cutting board. We're ready to rock. We're going on. We're moving forward. So we're going to do next the sweet and sour super salad, as I said. So number 3, this is the one I told you was just like my grandmother's. Very similar. Just a really great thing you grew up with on the farms and that type of thing. It was just all the time you had it. How many cucumbers do you get every time you literally are growing produce and if you got a farm right outside your house? So we had a lot of cucumbers. We had to know what to do with them all the time. But again, I jazzed this and made this a little bit different. And this is going to be a winner for you for sure. So we added, what did we add here? Look at that recipe. We added artichokes. We added some cilantili, they call them, mozzarella balls. And these are called, these are the pearl ones, which I'll just show you quick up front. Little baby mozzarella balls. They're terrific. The next size up is the cilantili. I saw these and I really thought these were great. They're sometimes hard to come by, so I wanted to grab them and show them to you. All right. So what we're going to do now, the main thing, sweet and sour super salad, is going to be the cucumbers in this. But also everything is about the main. You got 3 different things: the onion, and also the artichokes and tomatoes. So again, very easy. We're going to come down through. We're going to do a little strip on this one. So instead of using the entire cucumber with all the outside skin, cut off both sides so you have a nice sharp edge to work with. You have a great potato peeler, and you're going to come back through and you're just going to drag and go. It has something to work with. If you don't peel the ends off and you try and peel it, and you're just going to stripe it, just take off about 50% of the skin on the outside. Again, in gourmet cucumbers, they make it very much thinner, the skin, when they grow them. So they almost don't need to, but I always like to do this. That's it. So we're bringing it down through. I'm going to throw in, I'm going to do a similar cut. I'm going to do these down in the middle, but I'm going to just change it up a little bit. It's all about just making it a little bit different. So when I do this, I'm just going to move the cucumber down, and I'm going to keep, it's almost like an oblique cut. But when people see this, they're like, "Ooh, what's that? What's going on?" And it's just a different cut. That's all. I'm going to do the same on this. Again, do you see the cut I'm doing? Down, turn the cucumber, cut again. And you can even go like this, a V. Start all over again. Down, again, cut it off into a V. So it always goes back to a straight surface. Same thing. So that's what everybody thinks. Oh, look at the presentation. Look at the salad. How gorgeous. Only a chef could do that. You can do this too. It's very easy. So next, we're going to have beautiful artichokes. We do have them right out of a can, is fine. You can find them in glass jars with the oil on them. Any of those are great. Drain off all of the liquid. Okay, make sure. Get that all out of there. Putting it right in. Same thing. We're talking about 2 cups total. Okay. So this is fine. Now we're going to do some tomatoes. We have some large chunk ripe Pennsylvania tomatoes. I almost said Jersey tomatoes. We're still waiting on them. They're just about out now. They're coming out. You can see the large size of these. Again, make these big because fresh ripe tomatoes will really break down quickly. So if you have little thin slices, it's no good. It's going to look terrible on it. It'll break down. You won't even see them in there. And we're going right back to the red onion, and we're going to slice these this time. So I'm just going to take off the outside of each one, try and get a little bit past the core of the back of it. And I'm actually going to take off this outer. It's a little tough. I can see it's not glossy, so it's dull. The minute you see that with the skin of an onion, just peel that one off. Now you got gorgeous, beautiful, shiny onions. That's what you're looking for. You can't always get what you want in a grocery store. You don't know how long they've been there. 2 ways to cut an onion. You can either do it this way with all the rings, or you do it this way. This way holds, and you notice I'm cutting it a little thicker. It'll hold its shape. When you make onion soup with regular white onions or chipotles or any of those, you always cut it this way. It'll break down less in the soup. So, you know, onions in a soup will disintegrate. So they'll break down beautifully. They won't break down, and they'll keep their shape. Slice the other way when you really want them to almost disappear when you're cooking them. Okay. You want to make sure the core is off because slices will hang on to the back of the core. Okay. Again, no paper slices. We want nice big thick ones. Okay. Beautiful. Throw in those in just a minute. These, I'm going to actually use my gloves just for a minute because I want to toss this gently, but I want to make sure everything's broken up and all set and done. Now, what we're going to do is we should be able to pray into the Lords above that we'll get camera one back up for the last recipe, and that'll be fine. Okay, I know you can see me. You can see the food. That's what's important. You don't need to see me. It's only me. Okay, break up these a little bit more just to get them going, and then give it a light toss. Really nice. You can see the cores left on there a little bit. So you want to take just that last 4 bit off so then everything falls off and breaks. Okay, where are we at next? These little beautiful Silangili mozzarella balls. They're really cute. Kids love them. They see them in the salad. They can't believe what the heck are they. So that's all set. And we're going to do some fresh chives in a minute. We have them just about ready to rock. I've cleaned and gone through these nicely. So we're just going to do, again, not too small. You want to see them in the salad. Chives are beautiful, a little bit lighter than an onion, milder, you'd say. Okay. We'll still see that. I'll bring it back up into your camera. Okay, terrific. Now we're going to make the dressing. I think we have all the salad ingredients in there. The only thing I don't have is S&P. There you go. And it gets silent for a moment. Just the cracking you can hear. And again, that beautiful Peruvian salt really does make a difference, you know. Okay, so that's set. And do one more little quick hand toss. And I'm going to make the dressing. The dressing is very light and clean with this, extremely. These chunks are very large, so this can really marinate for at least 2 hours before you put it out. You really want it to get very nicely marinated with what it is. Okay, off with the gloves. Now I'm going to come back through and I'm going to grab one of these containers. That's it. Now we're going to make our dressing. Cider vinegar, 1/4 cup. Any dressing that you use, 4 tablespoons is 1/4 cup, correct? Jacob knew that. He's holding up a sign saying, yes, 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. So we're going to add some honey. How much honey does the old bear do? 1 tablespoon. Give that baby a squeeze. The bear's going, yes, sir. You want a tablespoon. You want a little sweet and a little sour with the apple cider. Okay. Next, we're going to put in there, let's see. Actually, with this, I'm going to also add 1 little clove of garlic. This is minced garlic. If you remember from the last class, I use this product called Dorot, and it is amazing. Okay, very good. I think maybe a refrigerator or a freezer little blast could do it, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm looking at this. I'm just stirring this around a little bit. And what is the last thing you need for a dressing? Last thing you need is olive oil. So it's typically 2 parts olive oil to 1 part acid. So you always want to know it's about 2 or 3 parts of the oil or the fat in it compared to the acid. So we're going to bring her on through. So this one's calling for about 1/3 cup of oil. I'll let that go. I'm going to take a touch. 1/4 cup. That's fine. Can you measure all these out? Of course you can. But I'm telling you, I know 1/4 cup. If you have a whisk that's too big compared to the little container you're in, look what I'm doing. It works great. This one actually can do it like this. But I'm telling you, if you have a really small container, you just use it with just like a paintbrush. Put it between your hands and whisk away. That's it. We're done. Anything else in there? Garlic, honey, vegetable oil, cider vinegar. Salt and pepper to taste. We already have that on. We're ready to go with the S&P already on it. We're going to toss and go. That's it. And I'm telling you, the size of this, the size of the chunks, give it a beautiful toss here. This is super salad. It is really terrific. Oh, where am I? Here we are. I'm going to back away. Oh, over here. There we go. Super salad, the shapes, the colors, the look of it, just great. So we're going to come back in just a moment, and we're going to see if we have the radiator pasta salad, the big one, the killer. That's the one we want. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Take care, everybody. Just hang tight. Beautiful thing. We're getting close, folks. Right on time. Gonna be able to bang this one out in about 10 minutes max for our next one, which is the radiator, or just pasta salad. You can just call it a pasta salad. That's fine. Okay. So let's bring all these goodies up. Okay. We're getting close, very close. Almost set up. Okay, folks, we're gonna wind down here. There I am. You can see me now. We got camera back up. We did a little changes. The IT wizardry. Jacob, you're doing great, pal. Thank you. Okay, so I have a little something on my screen, but I think I only see that. Hopefully you don't see that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about cooking the pasta. I'm gonna show you in this top, right on the cutting board one, some of the ingredients. The pasta I put into a Ziploc bag, boiling water, cook your pasta. I got shells. They didn't have radiator, shells. They have nice big open pieces, and it's great. You can just pop them, cook them al dente. Make sure they're a little bit under. You don't want them falling apart in your pasta salad. The biggest mistake they make is overcook. You get all these little flecks of pasta everywhere. Shock them off in cold water, just like we did with the broccoli. Then you want to make sure you put them in a Ziploc bag. They're cool, and a little bit of oil, and squish it all around, and you're set. You can leave this in the fridge for 2 to 3 days, easy. So you can make this prep ahead. So I'm going to actually make I'm going to make the dressing first. It's simple. We're going to make that up and go from there. What I'm going to do with this, this one's very clean also. What we're going to do is going to put one more of those beautiful garlic pieces in there. This recipe doesn't call for it. The last one did. So just to give it that extra little hit. And then we're going to do extra virgin olive oil, about 1/2 cup, and 1/4 cup of white balsamic vinegar. Okay. So we're going to do the oil first, about 1/4 cup. This is a pint container. Where am I going to buy it? Okay, right. So that's fine. And I'm going to do now back with white vinegar, or excuse me, white balsamic. Really great. This is a little sweeter than the red, a little bit lighter. And again, only 1/2 the amount as the oil, always with the fat, okay? Only 1/2. We come back through, whisk around, the dressing is set. Very light. I'm actually going to put in here a little bit of S&P. Because again, the pasta really needs salt and pepper in this recipe. Don't be shy of it. There's only a little bit of Parmesan. You do have a little salt from the olives too. So you want to taste as you go. All right. Very important. every time, everything. Get your assistant to taste it. You taste it, make sure. Okay, let's throw the whole thing of pasta in. Gonna have a little salad party here later on tonight. Your pasta's in the bowl. Sun-dried tomatoes, okay? Here I've taken the sun-dried tomatoes. Now you always see them, oh, where am I? And they're dry. There we go. They're dry and they're a little bit tough and you feel it with your hand. I've shredded these into julienne with a knife and then I reconstituted them, rehydrated them. You have to put as hot tap water as you can over these just to cover, then put it in your microwave for about 30 seconds to a minute. Put a little lid, just rest the lid on top and give it about half an hour every time with sun-dried. If they're not soaked in oil and nice and squishy and taste great, you're going to taste what you taste. So if you try this and it's dried, sun-dried tomato, and really not a lot of flavor and it's chewy, you don't want that. You want them like this. You've got to reconstitute the dried ones. Now you get lucky and you find the beautiful ones in oil. It's just terrific. And we go back through to, yeah, we'll do that. So now we're going to do some regular old beautiful green olives with the pimentos in there. You want that little salty, nice little shot. Okay. Same thing. I went and got Kalamata olives. Okay. You've all seen the Kalamatas. Make sure they don't have any pits in them, please. Okay. Pitless. They're not seedless, but they're no pits. Make sure, very important. Pop them in. Lots of flavor. Tons of, oh, a little bit of salt in there too. Again, highly needed for the pasta in this recipe. Next, we're going down with those little beautiful Silangili balls again. These are the petites, the little babies. Next, we're going to wind up with our Parmesan cheese. Okay. I'm going to do the whole works. Now, I'm going to pull this off for a minute. And whether you can see or not, but I'm going to show it to you. Oh, this is another pot I have out on the, oh, there we go. Another pot on the deck. Basil, fresh basil. When it starts to flower, if you haven't picked it enough throughout the last month, that's the problem. It starts to flower. The minute it goes to flower, it gets bitter. So pick it, please. If you don't pick it and you see the flower, just pick the flower tip top off. Get rid of it. Throw it, put it in your pocket, make you smell beautiful. But I'm telling you, these I can go for the next 2 months. As soon as I see a little flower on one, I'll pick it off. So what I'm going to do is just take some of these right now, fresh off the stalk. Let's see. You cut them nicely so where you cut it right before you see a big, another 2 little shoots sticking off. And it's great. It works perfect. I'm here. You can hear me. I'm just clipping away here, getting some beautiful chunks of garlic or basil for you. Okay. We have that. Actually, I'm going to do one more. That's not enough. Okay. The basil stems are so soft and delicious, you can put them right in. I just rolled them right in with it. You're going to do this right before you toss and go. Again, leave them nice size. All I did was julienne that. I crushed them on the cutting board, rolled them a little bit into a little ball, and just cut down. I can smell that so intense. I can see Jacob over there, his eyeballs are falling out. It's really, really nice, extremely fragrant. So we're going to do that. Next I'm going to do is give it just a little toss. I don't want to keep on putting on my gloves, so I'm going to do it this way. Look at the color. Look at the flavor already. It doesn't even have the dressing on it yet. So I'm going to try that. I am going to put some more black pepper. It's going to have enough salt. I really want to hit it with the pepper because pasta is very, very dull. Look, you're adding red sauce and Alfredo cream sauces and all this to make the pasta taste great. You need to add the same thing with a salad, whether it's pepper, salt, or any one of these dressings you're going to put on. Absolutely needed. As you notice with these salads, if you did, there's no creamy dressings, nothing real heavy and bulky. But I'm telling you, let these sit a little bit and people will love this. This is a great one. This is a very good. Did I miss anything in there? Nope. I think I have everything ready to go. So, no, I'm not gonna hit it. Everybody set? Can I see them and say hello to them? I'm gonna just show you real quick one last time. This is the Radiator pasta salad. Colors, the shapes, everything's terrific. That's fine. What we're gonna do from this point, we're all set to go. It's about 10 of 8 on the East Coast. I don't know what time it is up in Toronto, but I tell you, Dory, everybody out, I'm going to do a shout out. Avril, anybody else out there listening to me? I've had a great time. I apologize for the one camera. She just overheated like a bear. We're going to have to check that for the next class, but we will straighten it out. I can only tell you, we're in the heat of summer. We're going to go through 3 more days of super heat next week, going right back to the mid 90s. But I'll tell you, it's not all about every day work, food, eating. It's about the people you do it with, your family, your friends, your loved ones. There we are. I can only tell you, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you being with me. I've had a very good time tonight. We want to do another class coming up. I need to hear from you. Send me an email. We only had not as many as the last class, so we need to go the other direction. We want to really bring it up. Hug your family, give kisses to the ones you love. You don't know if you're going to see them today or tomorrow. You're never sure. So please make sure. God love you. God bless. Take care. Come back and see me. And we're off.